Gale. I'm a sophomore at the University of Montana. I'm also a member of Reinvest Montana and 350 Montana. They're here today, so you should check them out. But today I'm here to speak for Forward Montana Foundation, which is a nonpartisan voter registration group that encourages young people to be active in their communities. That being said, climate change shouldn't be a partisan issue. This affects all of us. So I grew up in Ravalli County, which is a really conservative area. In high school, I was quickly labeled to be an eccentric liberal kid, and I would get dismissed in classes by my peers who were unwilling to listen to or respect dissenting opinions. 4 years of being silenced made me to believe that my thoughts weren't valid. So naturally, after I graduated, my first year of college was in North Dakota. The same thing happened there. I remember getting shut down by my peers and the occasional professor. I felt small and hopeless, unheard and disregarded. How can you make change if you don't have a voice? Tired of feeling voiceless, I decided to come back home and continue college at the University of Montana. Here, I was able to develop a better sense of self and grow intellectually. I felt validated as I was in a space that would allow me to be heard, surrounded by individuals aware of the issues of the world, filled with the same passion and dedication. I had found my voice, but now what to do with it? Philip Gorevich wrote that denouncing evil is a far cry from doing good. So I chose to act and become involved. In a time where climate deniers and people who make profit from extractions in the earth rely on our silence, I urge you to find your voice. Yes. In a time where facts regarding climate change are disputed and the fossil fuel industry wages war on science through political oppression and market domination, manufacturing consent for destruction by manipulating data for the sake of profit over people, we must speak. Yes. People have power, and when we unite and our voices speak together as one, change occurs. For example, Missoula just divested from Wells Fargo. Montana just had the longest sit-in on campus history for fossil fuel divestment. 350 Montana has been working towards the transfer to renewable energy, most recently showing support for a bill preventing Northwestern Energy from passing on some of its costs to customers. We are not small, we are not alone, and we have a real opportunity to make a difference. I joined Forward Montana because they give people the tools to exercise their voice. By registering the next generation and by making an effort to reach out to marginalized and low-income people and those who most desperately in need to be heard. It is especially important to make sure that those who are most affected by climate change, such as the young people who will have to deal with it the longest and the marginalized who are affected first, are being fairly represented in the voting process and involved in our democracy. So I see some amazing young folks here. We are the future, and together we can create an ecologically stable society. So now I'm going to make a little voter registration plug. You should register if you haven't. And also with the special election coming up, polling places in schools are still going, so those polling locations aren't going to be available. If you need to register absentee to compensate for that, you should. Also, Montana has same-day voter registration, which is pretty dope. So Lastly, Montana is going to need leaders like you to organize more actions like this, to pressure local government, and to run for office, to vote, to speak, and to exercise your rights and involve yourself in your politics. If you want to make a difference, find me to register to vote or sign up to get information on Ford Montana's summer and fall internships, and remember to vote in the special election on May 25th. And remember, this is a fight for your and for our futures. Thank you for having me.